Shaulene Wright, cultivating stillness in a city that never sleeps. On a summer evening in Bed-Stuy, the sound of traffic hums below as neighbours shout greetings across stoops. High above the noise, Shaulene Wright kneels among planters of basil, kale, and marigolds on her rooftop garden. The air smells faintly of compost and mint tea. She pauses, hands resting in the soil, before leading a short meditation for 3 friends, seated on yoga mats nearby. For Wright, this blend of gardening and Buddhism is not just a pastime. It is a way of transforming city life into something rooted, mindful, and shared. Her relationship with plants began early. Her father, a groundskeeper for the NYC Parks Department, often came home with extra seedlings from city projects. He'd hand me a half-wilted geranium and say, "See if you can save this one." She recalls with a smile. Her mother, an art teacher, encouraged creativity in every form, including sketching the plants that bloomed on their apartment windowsill. Weekends at the Brooklyn Botanic Garden became a family ritual where Shaulene and her siblings raced through exhibits before lingering by the Japanese pond. Those visits planted a quiet conviction that caring for nature could anchor her in the city's constant motion. Wright first encountered Buddhist teachings in her early 20s while searching for calm during a stressful retail job. A community meditation session at a local sangha became a turning point. I remember sitting there, listening to the sound of my own breath for what felt like the first time. She says, "It felt like gardening for the mind, tending to what you usually overlook." Her training at the New York Insight Meditation Center deepened that practice. Over time, she began weaving mindfulness into her gardening workshops. When neighbors asked how to keep basil from wilting, she'd answer with both practical tips and reminders about patience. The impact of her work is best seen in small, everyday moments. One summer, she helped a single father in Crown Heights set up a balcony garden for his 2 daughters. They grew cherry tomatoes together, and by September, the girls carried bowls of red fruit to share with neighbors on their block. Another time, during a compost drop-off event she organized, a skeptical neighbor admitted he thought the project was just hippie stuff. Months later, he returned with a bag of food scraps, proudly telling her that he had convinced his landlord to add a compost bin for their building. These anecdotes reflect Wright's philosophy. Change doesn't come from loud declarations, but from quiet, steady cultivation. Recognition has followed, like the Brooklyn Botanic Gardens Community Greening Award in 2018. But Wright sees her role less as leader and more as connector. She hosts weekly meditation circles at Lotus Wellness Studio and seasonal gatherings on her rooftop. Each session blends breathing practices with the aroma of herbs growing in the planters. Participants often leave with a small cutting or packet of seeds to tend at home. Her friends describe her as the one who always shows up with homemade tea blends. For Wright, even that small gesture is an extension of her practice. When you share a plant or a cup of tea, you're sharing a moment of care. In her own words, tending to plants mirrors tending to the mind. Both require patience, consistency, and a willingness to start again when things falter. Brooklyn's rhythm may be fast, but her rooftop is a reminder that slowness has its place. It's easy to think growth only happens when you push harder, Wright says. But sometimes, the most important growth is the kind you can't see yet. The roots forming quietly beneath the surface,